I'm Andrew. By the time the holidays are over and we're done spending time with our friends and family and loved ones, and it gets to be January, things can get a little slow. That's why it's important to have a good friends by you to keep you warm and cozy during the winter time, or otherwise be called a friend in winter, which is the name of our story today. It's about a little cat that makes friends with a squirrel, and they help each other out in the most surprising of ways. Hope you enjoy. A Friend in Winter by Feridun Oral. Leo lived in a house at the edge of the forest. His owner Walter cared for him every day. But Leo had no other friends to play with. His cat toys were so boring. He often walked around the house in circles, searching for adventure. One sunny autumn day, Leo woke from a nap under the walnut tree to see a squirrel gathering the walnuts. At first, Squirrel looked nervous near Leo, so Leo politely nodded for him to take the nuts. He watched carefully as Squirrel gathered one up for his collection. It was nice to meet a friendly creature, Leo thought. The next day, Leo waited by the window to see if Squirrel would return, and sure enough, he came bounding along during his daily search for walnuts. Leo went out, and together they climbed trees for the rest of the afternoon. Each day went on like this for as long as the autumn leaves lasted. Leo would wait by the window, and then he'd rush outside once Squirrel came by. But then the winter came, with its blanket of snow, and Squirrel didn't come by anymore. Leo missed him. It just wasn't any fun when Squirrel wasn't around. One morning, Leo ventured out through his cat door. He'd never been outside in the snow before. He liked the chilly feel of the soft snow on his paws. He leaped with joy to catch the snowflakes. Without knowing it, he was wandering farther and farther away from home. He was hoping he'd run into a squirrel soon. He sniffed at the air, shifting his tail from left to right. He perked up his ears and listened to the sounds of the forest. Could this be where his friend lived? Suddenly, Leo realized he'd strayed too far from his house. He was lost in the vast forest, and he started to get hungry. A scent from nearby reminded him how much he missed Walter and his warm house. Walking among the large birch trees, he saw the little chickadees in the blueberry bushes fly away. He knew these birds. He used to see them eating berries in the garden in summertime. Leo followed the smell as best he could, but his nose must have had a bad sense of direction. Instead of his house, he found a family of rabbits scurrying home to their burrow. Leo couldn't even follow his footprints home, since they had been buried by the newly falling snow. What could he do? It was getting darker and colder, and the wind was picking up. Leo had to find a place to spend the night. Looking around, he saw a huge oak tree with a hole in its trunk. He scampered up the tree and peeked inside. When he poked his head in, he found an unexpected surprise. It was Squirrel! And Squirrel was just as surprised as Leo to see his friend out in the forest. At first he thought he must be dreaming during his long nap. That night, the two friends huddled up together in Squirrel's warm nest while the wind howled outside. When they woke up the next morning, the sun shone through the frozen forest and made the snow gleam. Throughout the day, the two friends played together, joined by the forest's other animals. Leo was so happy to have found such friends, but he missed his house too much to stay away for too long. He asked his new friends to help him get home, and Squirrel agreed to take him. When Leo finally got home, there was a new surprise waiting for him. It was Christmas morning! The fire was blazing, and the smell of gingerbread cookies filled the air. Walter was so happy to have him back, and while Leo had a new bed to curl up in, the best gift of all was knowing he was back where he belonged, warm and cozy. Sweet dreams carried him off to his new friends in the forest. Leo knew that once winter was over, he and Squirrel would play in the garden again. Now, didn't that fire look cozy? I hope you have a safe and fun winter season surrounded by friends to keep you company, not just in winter, but throughout the year. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the book.